The biggest thing that separates a third-person shooter from a first-person shooter is the ability to watch somebody without them being able to see you. I'm going to talk about some of the basics to a third-person shooter, specifically the game War Inc., and this is in beta, so some of the specific tips may change as the game progresses, but a lot of the basics will stay throughout any third-person shooter you play. The first thing to note is that you are not entirely invisible. Remember that. You might be hiding behind thin cover, but your gun may be sticking out. Maybe if this little thin wall here were a bit higher, nobody could see you. But if you're up a little too close to it, your gun's going to be poking out of it, maybe even your head or a shoulder or whatever. So remember, sometimes you're just going to have to back off or stand behind something at a strange angle just to ensure your weapon doesn't stick out. Let's discuss turning corners. There are 3 ways to do it, and I'm going to demonstrate them. Number 1 will be the wrong way. Number 2 is what I call a short stop, which is a good way. And number 3 is also another good way, which I call a fluid motion. So first is the wrong way, and let's say we want to turn this right corner right here, and I don't know what's around that. The wrong way to do that is to just look close to the wall and just sidestep. You do not want to do that. Oh, and there's a little guy there. Hello. What's wrong with this if you just sidestep and then come all the way here and pretend this doorway's not here? That's a bad demo. But when you're sidestepping, an enemy may be waiting for you. He might be standing right here and just watching you. And if you're sidestepping like this, if he pops out, there's nothing you can do about it. He's going to kill you instantly because you're going to be in his sights and you're not going to have him in your sights. That's why you always want to approach the corner by looking straight at where the enemy is going to pop out of it. Now this brings us to the next two examples. One is the short stop. As you approach the corner, you can either stop short or you can just continue moving forward. What you want to do when you stop short is if it's a highly dangerous area or you think enemies are going to be there, or you just want to take a look before turning that and you don't think anybody's going to pop out at you. So what you do is you just stop short. I mean, you keep the crosshair at the corner, but as soon as you reach it, right before you reach it and pop yourself out, is you stop and you look. That way you can see what's around that corner without exposing yourself, just to be safe. And you can do that as slow or fast as you like. I mean, you could approach it, stand here for a second, and then move, or you could just do it all in one quick motion, just okay, like that, without even having to stop. Now the third way is if, let's say, an enemy's chasing you or somebody's on your tail or you're trying to rush to an objective and you have no time to stop in your highly dangerous area, and really you're not going to prepare and look. You think an enemy might be around this corner and you're not gonna look at the walls just so he could pop out and hit you. What you want to do is always just keep your crosshair where the enemy can pop out. You never want to point at that wall. So just look at the angle of the wall there. As you turn, you're always keeping your crosshair where the enemy could be. So once you turn that, and then you just continue to whichever destination you're going. Now we'll talk some War Inc. specifics. This game only has a right-hand side point of view over the shoulder, third point of view. You cannot switch it currently in the beta. Hopefully in the future you can, and if they give you the ability to in-game swap between a right-hand shoulder view and left-hand shoulder view, do that depending on which side of the wall you're hiding behind. In that being the case, if you're on if the opening's to the right, you want the right-hand shoulder view, and the left-hand shoulder view would be in this case over here. But because it's on the right side, that means generally speaking you're going to want to pop out of the right. You're going to want to stand behind the wall and watch what's going on with the opening to your right. So when you peek out, you can shoot your gun and only part of your body is going to be shown. And this game actually doesn't allow you to shoot until your gun is fully around that corner. And see how much of my body is hidden. Only my shoulder and my right leg is sticking out with maybe part of my face. And that's it. If you pop out on the left side, and I'm not saying never pop out of the left, I'm just saying it's not as safe. You're not going to be able to shoot until, well, actually let's go straight on, until about right here. See, basically my full body is exposed and only my elbow is hidden behind the wall. So the enemy has a full shot at me if I'm peeking out, and they're going to see me before and be able to shoot me before I can even shoot them if they're really good. Now that being said, advanced players may use that against you. Because if I know you're hiding behind this doorway, and I don't know which side you're on, if you're on the left side or the right side, I know that you're going to probably pop out of the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move towards the door with my crosshair pointed at the right side of the opening, because that's probably where you're going to pop out and shoot me. And also, if you are on the left side, I'll be able to see you before you can even shoot me, so I could just adjust my aim very quickly. So people may use that against you. And one last specific to War Inc. is sprinting, and in beta it's very slidey. I don't know how else to describe it, and they say they're going to fix this and change this or something, but who knows, maybe the mechanics will still be the same in the future. And while you're sprinting, let's say I want to kind of keep track of what's behind on the right side of this red little hut thing here. Well, if I just sprint straight towards it, I can only kind of see straight on. But if I hold sprint and I sidestep to the right, I can see what's behind that a little better, and the enemy won't be able to see me if I'm running correctly. So always try and sprint where you are holding the right sidestep button, and that way you'll be protected by cover and still get to where you want to go while seeing the enemy best. If you sidestep from the left, it's a little awkward. Man, I don't even got my controls down. Here we go. You can kind of see me a little bit behind the left wall, but it's just harder to see because once again the shoulder view is on the right side. So just look from the right, and also again, if an advanced player may see that when people sprint, they usually point their crosshair to the left because they're sidestepping right. So what they're going to do is they're going to stand on the left side, and as you're sprinting, they're going to pop out and hit you on this side. So be very careful of that. Or if you want to step up your game, just give that a try. Try it out a bit and see if it works for you. Gets you a few more kills. So I hope this helped you learn some of the basics. I hope it wasn't any confusing or anything. If you have any questions, just please let me know. I have a website, goatfo.com, where I have a weekly show and answer questions about primarily FPS games or anything you like. So just look that up, and hope to see you there. Later.